Shalom Chavrim, I'm Stephen Ben-Nun. You're watching Israeli News Live. Israel, for the second time, has admitted that they have targeted Syrian forces. RT is reporting this. It's also on our own Twitter account, but it says moments ago, several projectiles fired from Syria hit an open area in the northern Golan Heights. No injuries reported. IDF went on to respond in response to several Syrian projectiles launched towards Israel's IDF targeted two Syrian regime artillery positions and an ammunition truck. From what we're gathering thus far, all the targets were destroyed by the Israeli forces there. And again, this is following Prime Minister Netanyahu's no tolerance policy with any spillovers from Syria. They do hold the Syrian government, President Bashar al-Assad, responsible for these spillovers. But what my biggest concern is not the fact that they're holding President Bashar al-Assad responsible, but this is actually more than likely a way to be able to draw Russia into combat. We are working on a story very deep, very detailed about the very plans of NATO working with the Vatican in order to bring about prophecy the way that they see that it should come to pass. And of course, the prophecy, the way they look at the Gog of Magog war, is to have Russia attack Israel. Of course, Israel would have every right to defend itself if Russia were to do this, but my biggest concern is that this is not being Russia being drug out, other than it being drug out by hooks themselves. If you think about it, it is hooks plural in the jaws plural, so it wouldn't be just Russia only. But who is the one that's doing the fishing here in this case to bring about the Gog of Magog war? Well, none other than NATO itself bringing about this, trying to fulfill this prophecy, but doing it as Joel Beinerman, the late Joel Beinerman, the Israeli investigative journalist, stated to the Israeli people that they needed to be warned that the Vatican must have certain events play out to show that the prophecy is fulfilling the way they believe it should be fulfilled, and that they must bring upon their own Messiah. That includes turning the Middle East upside down, as even Joel Beinerman noted, and this is exactly what has happened. But you got to have somebody on the inside of the Israeli government to be able to willing to do that. As we pointed out in Daniel's prophecy, chapter 11, the sons of the lawless of your people was told that this is exactly what they would do, but they're going to fail in trying to bring that to pass, at least according to Daniel's prophecy. Also, in other news, North Korea is absolutely rejected the idea that it would stop its nuclear program for any kind of peace initiative with South Korea. So that's completely out the door. And then also a new intel came out just the other day, Sputnik reporting this, how that a former intelligence officer revealed that NATO, after the collapse of the Soviet Union back during the time of Ronald Reagan, was planning on breaking up Russia completely and balkanizing the country into little bitty nations there. Very serious there, he says. And then NATO planned to create the Russian North Volga Republic, then the Middle Volga Republic, and reduce the Russian state to the level and size of the Moscow Principality, and the intelligence veteran specified. This came out on Russia 1. I believe that was yesterday that this was brought out. No doubt with this type of intel coming out about NATO's plans, I'm sure Russia's pretty much a little bit more on edge and more cautious about what's going on in the Middle East, and of course on their western and eastern borders both. Maybe this is something to do to drag Russia into a war so that the Vatican can have its way of prophecy fulfilled, so that they can declare their own, well, their own Messiah, perhaps an alien one at that. I'm Stephen Ben-Nun. You're watching Israeli News Live. Shalom.